Hi, I'm Angie, and today we're going to make something I've been dreaming about for weeks now. So we're going to make a filling for our chocolate bonbons, and the filling is going to be a caramel brownie crunch. And for the brownies, you can totally use your own recipe, brownies out of the box, or you can just use my recipe. I have never made these brownies before, so but I'm sure it's going to work out, right? It's brownies. They're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. And I'm going to make egg and dairy-free caramel sauce and brownie, but you can totally replace the coconut cream with regular cream and so on. So that works one-to-one. And yeah, I don't think that there's anything more to say up front. So yeah, let's do it. Here we go. So here I'm going to start with my flax egg. So this is replacing eggs. I have 30 grams of flax seeds here, and now I'm adding 6 tablespoons of how many was that? Oh, I can't talk and think all at the same time. Let's just add one more. Whatever. Let's put the whole thing in. What I actually wanted to do was having 30 grams of flaxseed and adding 90 milliliters of coffee. So I brewed this coffee before, and now I'll let this sit. So this will be our egg replacement, and I'll just put it aside. Now here I have 90 grams of butter. I'm adding 150 grams of sugar, and I'm going to whisk it. Now I'm adding about 85 grams of chocolate. I'm using a dark chocolate here, but feel free to use whatever kind of chocolate you like. And I'm adding my coffee mix and mix it. So those are our wet ingredients. And now I have 30 grams of cocoa powder and 95 grams of all-purpose flour and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And now I'm pouring the wet ingredients into my dry ingredients. There's absolutely no moisture in there, so let me see. I'm just adding a little bit of almond milk. And now I'm adding another 85 grams of chocolate. You can definitely use chocolate chips. And I'll just mix them under. And now we bake this for about 35 to 40 minutes. My brownies bake for about 40 minutes or so. And now I will let this completely cool down. What I'm most likely going to do is I wait maybe 10-15 minutes, and I'm cutting off here a little bit of this edge, and then I take it out and put it into the refrigerator because I just don't have enough time. If you have the time, let your brownies cool down overnight. That would be perfect, but I just don't have the time, so I have to speed it up. Let's move on to our caramel. So here I have 120 milliliters of cream, 75 of sugar, and now I'm going to heat this up. Add about 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Now I let this boil, then I reduce the heat to low and let it simmer for 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, here we go. As you can see, the caramel sauce has really nicely thickened. And I'm just pouring it into a glass for storage for later. And that's it, that's our caramel sauce. Now I set this aside and let it cool down to use it later. Here we go, let's get to the good part. Here I have prepared my molds. Nothing fancy here, I was just using some yellow, some green, some white, some purple. And now we start out with the caramel sauce. This is how the caramel sauce looks like now. I'm not bothering with a piping bag today if I only have those 9 cavities, so I'll just go in there and try to fill them kind of evenly. Just make sure that your caramel sauce has around 30 degrees Celsius, and then you're good to go. And the remaining sauce you can use for your brownies. That's the caramel part. And like I mentioned, I cut a piece of the brownies out, and now I will just make smaller pieces and stuff it into my mold. If you have a cookie cutter that fits perfectly into your mold, go for it. But also here, make sure that your brownie isn't warm anymore. I think the first one is a little bit too full. Okay, that's better. Alright, now we have the caramel, we have the brownie, but there's still the crunch missing, and the crunch is coming from pecan. I am not sure what to do with them. Either I add one piece on top now, or I add it onto my last chocolate layer. I think I'll just add it now. So you really want to make sure that your mold is not super full. I think that should be it. Alright, okay, so those are not looking pretty, at least from this side. I clearly struggled when adding the last chocolate layer, and I show you why. What I didn't think about is that brownies are bouncy. So when I pressed them into my mold, well, everything looked fine. I pressed them down, and then slowly but surely they expanded again. And that's where I struggled. So next time I would make them, or if you make them at home, make sure to maybe only use half of what I've been using. So I think I used honestly like a whole cube in one of these. So I would maybe use half of that. And so that really got me into trouble. So that's why they look like this. But hey, here we are now. So let's take a look at them. Well, I guess they still look cute. If you just don't turn them around, they do look cute. Okay, let's cut one open and give them a try. Doesn't look too bad. Let's see. This is freaking amazing. They might look not great from the bag, but they taste really, really good. Oh, what can I say? It tastes like brownie, caramel sauce, and pecan. So what can you not like about this? You will end up with brownies and with your chocolate bonbons. So yeah, go for it, do it. They're really good. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Chocolate related questions. I am not a great baker, so don't ask me any questions about baking. I'm not good at that. But if you have questions about chocolate, leave them down below. Send me a DM on Instagram at chocolatesphere. If you are looking for tools, equipment, I have a lot of links down below as well. And yeah, have a good one. Bye.